Hello and welcome to Sweet and Sour. I'm your guest host for the evening, Bill Hallberg. We have four wonderful panelists tonight who are going to be helping us analyze some letters. So let's get started. Bonnie says, my daughter and mother have a fantastic relationship. Only problem is, Mom passed away years ago. The Western world rejoiced when Osama Bin Laden was assassinated. But does each retaliation by the West only beget further terrorism? And she left her husband for an affair that fizzled out. Now her husband won't take her back, and she's up the duff. Exciting times tonight. Wonderful panelists. We'll be started in a minute.
Got a problem, big or small, would a miracle be nice? Our motley crew is back, churning out advice. You might even laugh a bit in the following half hour. Park your backside on the couch, 'cause baby, it's time for Sweet and Sour. Right here on Sweet and Sour.
Pour some sugar in there, baby.
It's time for Sweet and Sour. It's time for Sweet and Sour.
Welcome back. We've got our panelists here tonight. It's going to be exciting. Clint.
Hey, mate.
MC extraordinaire. How's the MC business going these days?
Quiet during winter, but more importantly, you will be fine this evening, mate.
Perfect.
Please.
I feel good. I feel good.
Please don't be nervous.
I'm trying not to be nervous. I figure you guys have it all under control. You and Stacy. Stacy's been here 150 times.
Veterans.
Isn't that true?
Oh, yeah, at least.
How is the leasing managing market going these days now that the liberals are in?
I think it's going to improve now.
Fantastic.
You can see
You
it
can't
on the
beat
up and
that,
up.
can you? And we've got Jade here this evening,
Hi, Bill.
makeup artist and Instagram influencer.
Yes.
Is that working out pretty well for you, isn't it?
Yes, it's good. It's good. I've just officially relaunched my makeup business, so I'm very excited about that. Now that I'm in Perth and I'm staying here for a while, gotta go check it out.
Fantastic. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
And we've got Ivan from WAMN News.
Hello, Bill.
Hello to you. You're a seasoned presenter yourself.
Well, I'm more of a VJ, more of a guy behind the scenes to chase around people. So
Now, the most important thing is I'm sure your opinions will be stellar tonight.
I hope so. I don't
So
know.
let's get into
We'll
it,
see.
shall we?
Brace for impact. I will.
Let's do
Over
it.
to you, Bill.
All right, our first letter this evening. Hello, Sweet and Sour. Last month, during the middle of one particular night, I awoke at 3 a.m. to hear my very mature 14-year-old daughter sobbing in a room. After much probing, she finally revealed that my mom, who passed away a year before, apparently visited her and warned her against attending school the following day. Who hasn't used that excuse before? In short, as she was traumatized, I allowed her to stay home that next day. We learned the following morning that a staircase collapsed at school as her maths class was dismissed, and thankfully, while there were many sprains and scratches suffered by her school friends, not a soul was seriously hurt. Since then, it's had a very positive and real effect on my daughter to the extent of her wanting to attend our church every week and finally letting go of the grief that she was bearing because of my mother's passing. They were both very close, we all were. I don't know whether I'm a cynical non-believer, a concerned mom, or all of these. I just don't know if I believe in ghosts, and because of that, I don't know whether I'm doing the right thing by my daughter by doing nothing. Since overcoming the initial trauma of her visitation, she hasn't stopped telling me how beautiful my mom was to her. Bonnie, Camberwell, Victoria. All righty. Well, I don't know what this first thing means, Clint, but she says she's doing nothing. She's doing nothing. Does that mean she's not taking her to counseling?
Well, no, I mean, she doesn't actually need to do anything, to be fair, mate. I mean, if she reads back what she's actually written to us here, everything is a positive experience from this visit that she's apparently had. So since it's positive, I don't think there's actually any need for the mum to be questioning it or worrying about it. If it was the opposite way, Nanny'd come to have a visit from down below,
Yeah.
maybe you might have a cause for concern, but if it's a positive experience on the daughter and the daughter's happy and she's more positive and secure in herself and she's getting over her grief, they're all good things. So
So
who
at the end of it-
cares if you believe in ghosts yourself?
At the end of the day, the ghost seems to be the best counselor possible.
I just want to know if the Nana bought anything with her, because you always are meant to take a gift when you visit someone.
When you visit someone.
Yeah.
Stacey, what do you think? Should she be doing more? Is she going to have regrets 20 years from now if she
No.
doesn't do the right thing?
No, I completely agree with Clinton. I think she's, the daughter's happy. She's getting over her grief. She's positive about it. She's going to church. It's not like she's, playing up or doing anything bad.
Yeah.
She's really happy. She's, moved on from being so sad. So she's happy now, and if she believes in ghosts, why not? Lots of people do. She may have found some closure from her nana passing. So I don't think it's bad at all. I think it's very positive. So her mother doesn't have to do anything. Maybe it would help her mother if she had a little visit too.
Stacey, do you believe in ghosts?
I don't disbelieve in them.
That's a good vague answer. I like it.
Well, no, I'm not being vague. I'm open to that sort of thing.
Fair enough. Yep.
So
Are you open to that kind of thing, Jade? Ghosts?
Yes, I am. I'm open to everything because you really don't know 100% anything, do we? Let's be honest. You know, some people do like to believe in religion, or they believe in ghosts, or they're very spiritual. And as long as they're not hurting anyone, I mean, does it really matter? And like Stacey said, she's not doing the wrong thing. She's not going out. She's not partying. You know, she's just being like a good girl. And I mean, it's a bit of a coincidence. You know,
Is it?
like
Is it a coincidence?
I've had like things that have happened to me, and I've been like, wow, that's just like too much of a coincidence to just be a coincidence.
In fairness, most of us have wanted to fall off a staircase after math class in high school as
But
well.
now, isn't that why they call it a coincidence?
Yes, I know, but sometimes, you know, like, I don't know if you've ever had that feeling, and it's just like, wow, it's really like taken you back, and it's like, whew, is this something else going on here? But who knows?
Fair call,
so
fair call.
Just be open to it and let it be.
But Ivan, what I'm going to need from you is total disagreement to tell all three of these people that they are wrong. And this woman's doing the wrong thing.
I think at the end of the day, I'm sorry to disappoint you to a certain extent. I don't believe in ghosts though, however. I myself is a conservative person, and I'm a churchgoer myself. I think the changes are positive, although, look, as long as she's hanging out in the right crowd, she has let go of her grief, and whatever happened is I think only her daughter can actually know the most, and she can explain herself.
Fair enough. And at the end of the day,
as long as she's on a straight and narrow, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
Right?
And as a parent, I think the only thing you can do is just try to make the best decision you can and hope for the best.
Yeah.
So we had a poll that was on Facebook, and we took it to the general public. Question 1 was, do you believe in a spiritual afterlife? Percentage of people that said yes, 64%, 36% said no. I guess that's why they call Australia a Christian country. Maybe. Maybe not. That's not necessarily a Christian thing, is it?
I thought yes would have been higher, to be fair.
You think it would be higher?
I thought it would have been higher.
I suppose there's some people who aren't religious, but they still believe in that.
Absolutely,
Yeah, well, some of us are atheists.
But maybe they're not actually talking about religion there. Maybe they're just thinking of people that are like feeling spirits, you know?
You never can tell because the question's too vague.
Yeah, it is. It's too.
All right, well, that's the way it rolls sometimes, I suppose. All right, well, we're going to come back in just a moment. A little more from Sweet and Sour in just a second.
Right here on Sweet and Sour.
Pour some sugar on there, baby.
It's time for Sweet and Sour.
How's about some chili?
It's time for Sweet and Sour.
Hello, we're back with more Sweet and Sour. Make sure that you join us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, our website, email address. Send us a letter, and we will send you to the movies for free, to the movie Red Joan, thanks to Natalie Cameron and NRC Communications. That sounds pretty good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Sounds like the most boring movie ever made.
No, it's the greatest movie ever. People are going to love it, and then they are going to be doing nothing but thank Sweet and Sour for the rest of their lives after seeing that movie. All righty. We're going to get straight into this next letter. Dear Mitch and panel, who is this Mitch character everybody keeps talking about? The world was ecstatic when we managed to assassinate Osama Bin Laden. I heard every Western leader utter the same comments in varying fashion about how jubilant they are because he's dead. I didn't hear a single comment from anyone along the lines of, we hope the world will be a safer, happier place because of these actions. I think that's because these actions were all about vengeance rather than healing. And as most of us should be aware, violence begets violence. Out of this violence was born ISIS and gave us years of bloodshed. Although it almost completely wiped out in the caliphate, the remaining ISIS groups are reforming around the planet and will still be looking to take retaliatory action around the world. The violence in Sri Lanka recently is case in point. The West was justified, so we said, in hunting down Bin Laden, and that's because he struck first with the World Trade Center. How utterly immature of the Western world to gloat and goad into more violence that has lasted years. I didn't feel safe when George Bush retaliated and sent troops into Iraq, and I don't feel safe when the news channels are telling me that ISIS is almost wiped out, but it's not, as we know. Why can't the Western world wake up to the fact that the promotion of peace through peace is the only proper course, because every violent action begets a violent reaction? Brendan Pace, Prospect, South Australia. Well, I am a Yank, which means I have no opinion on this one. So we're gonna turn to people who know stuff. Jade,
Okay.
what do you think? What's the solution? We're gonna solve the world's problems in 7 minutes.
Okay.
Do it.
In the perfect world, yes, peace is what everyone wants. We all want that. But I just think it's too far gone now, and peace is just never going to happen because there's some people in the world that aren't as loving as others. Yeah, I don't know really how to put that, but that's kind of, you know, what I mean. There's always going to be people that have different views and things like that, but it's just the way that the media really makes these things so big. And like, I know it is huge, but the way they make, you know, something that kind of needed to be done.
Try not to say anything crazy that's going to get us all in trouble now.
It's like,
Don't blame
I
No
mean,
pressure,
honestly,
Jane.
Yeah, you can't, it's hard, it's really hard because obviously I'm not like a professional, I'm just voicing my opinion. But you can't have people going around and killing people and killing, you know, innocent people. I don't know, it's just
I think
really,
that sounds pretty straightforward, well
So,
said.
I don't know, they just need to stop making it like it's a really good thing, because it's not a good thing, you know, to go around killing anyone, but that's unfortunately our world nowadays, so I'm sorry, that's my
That's
answer.
perfect. Look, this is a lighthearted program. We just
Yeah.
got to make terrorism a lighthearted. Ivan, what do you think? Will terrorism magically stop if the West just stops invading other countries? No.
No.
It won't. Why not?
It's human nature, you know. I mean, look, these are the three things, okay? My personal viewpoint. Patriotism, political reason, and pride. Right? And on the other hand, how many times we say it sounds easy, but then it's actually complex, but it's only complex because we choose to make it complex.
Fair.
How many times we make simple thing complex, you know? I mean, it's like kindergarten stuff. You hit me and I hit you back, and it turns into a fight. You know, now the news side, which I'm going to respond to what she says, the news side, theoretically, issues are ugly, but then negative news sells as well on the other hand.
Yeah.
So then on the other hand, if you say, all right, she doesn't feel safe, yeah, okay, because that's other local issues that makes you doesn't feel safe. Therefore, you don't feel safe. So it's not a nice place. Look, this world is a trial. It's not a nice place to live in, but at the end of the day, you need to know. You do need to know, but then on the other hand, how far do you go, and what sort of message do you choose to receive and choose to receive? That's up to you.
Well said. Clint, I said the most controversial thing to my compatriots back home straight after the 9/11 thing happened. I said, you know, if we go around bullying enough people, eventually somebody's going to punch us in the nose.
Well, and that's true, but look, I probably should be a bit more concerned about what is being brought up in this letter, but I just basically hear this, wah, 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 wah. It is ridiculous. I'm one of those people that think 9/11 was an inside job.
Yeah. Look, it's a tough one.
Take the focus off what they're actually doing and put it onto these other
We'll
people.
never know.
And we will never know. Look, I think the best way to go about it, Brendan, not get so concerned about it, mate, because it's all happening around us and it's going to continue to happen around us.
Out of their control.
Just live in your own little world, mate. As long as you're being happy, you're being kind, you're paying it forward, just please live your life like that and not worrying about all this crap.
Absolutely. Stacey, what's your input on all this craziness?
Well, I kind of have to agree with everybody else. You've got to live in your own world, be happy, and it is what it is at the end of the day.
Yeah, you can only live your
What
life.
else can you do?
Lead by example, I suppose. Isn't that what they say?
It's a really hard question, isn't it?
Yeah.
It had me like stumped.
Well, here's what you guys said at home when you went to our social media and we posed the question to you. Do you feel we live in a safer world? Your say. Do you feel we live in a safer world since the demise of Osama Bin Laden and more recently ISIS? Survey says 19% said yes. Most people, 81%, reckon not a damn chance.
Not surprised.
All righty. Well, speaking of turmoil, we're going to be getting into that next letter in just a second. But let's take a break from Sweet and Sour. See you in just a sec.
Right here on Sweet and Sour.
Pour some sugar on me, baby.
It's time for Sweet and Sour. It's time for Sweet and Sour.
We're back for our final segment. Some more excitement. I think we'll get straight into the next letter, shall we? Here we go. Hi there, Mitch and crew. It probably wasn't the smartest thing to do, but I left my husband for another man. You are correct, young lady. That is not the smartest thing to do. Let's see. At the time, it seemed very right. We were completely head over heels in love with each other, and we didn't want to hurt our respective partners, that's right, he was married, any more than we had to. But after 2 glorious months with this new man, my world came crashing in. He had not been cheating only on his wife, but on me as well.
Ooh.
Oopsie.
No.
He's a stallion. Okay, I was in a very bad way for a while, but I've managed to regroup, and I want to go back to my husband. The thing is, he doesn't want to know me, and of course I can't blame him. How can I prove to him that I'm a changed woman, and I still love him? Do you think I have any chance? Isn't it wrong to hold a grudge for so long? There is another very serious complication to all this. I'm pregnant. I only have a small window for termination, but need to hear perspectives on how I should deal with all of this. Whew! All righty, kids. We got to help this woman fix her life in 8 minutes. What do you think? Now, I think we probably all agree that she's screwed up pretty badly and he's probably not going to forgive her very easily, but she's asking, what can she do to fix it? What do you think, Stacey? Any advice what she can do to fix it, even if it's not possible?
Well, she's saying there's another complication, first of all. She's pregnant and she's only got a small window for termination. So she's sitting on the fence about that one for a start. And then she wants her husband back. So, you know, it's like if I don't get my husband back, I might have the boyfriend's baby. So anyway, back to the first issue at hand.
She should be happy she doesn't live in Alabama.
You know,
Yes.
if she's cheated on her husband for 2 months with this other bloke, and then he's dumped her. So then she now wants to crawl back to the husband or slither on her belly back to the husband, who's not going to forgive her. And if the boyfriend hadn't have dumped her, she'd probably still be with him. So if I was the husband, I wouldn't forgive her. So
Have you ever been in a situation, where not that kind of
No.
situation, but something where you're holding a grudge for a long time? Is it wrong to do that?
no, I would never hold a grudge for a long time. Couldn't imagine
That's
it.
good.
I wouldn't waste my time holding a grudge like that.
So you reckon that he could forgive her then? They could get back together.
No, I don't think he would on principle. She's been cheated on. Why would he bother forgiving her? He should move
Look.
onward and upward and kick that one to the curb.
That's a fair assessment
In my
again.
opinion.
Now, Clint, here's a question that I think about with this, right? Now, she's gotten herself pregnant. Only the thing is she hasn't gotten herself pregnant. Also, the guy that she was involved
Well,
with.
no, I've been
how
told that it does
could
take
they-
2 people
Yes.
to make that occur. I have also seen this episode of Home and Away. So, Melissa, if I really told you what I thought about you, no, I couldn't. I couldn't.
Do it,
About to get
Clint.
crazy
You know
in
what?
here.
I'm just going to quote the words of probably one of our greatest songwriters of all time, Justin Timberlake. What goes around comes around, goes around. You deserve everything you get, sweetheart.
Karma's a beast, isn't
Karma is an absolute bitch, as are you.
it?
Bang.
Vicious. Ivan, can she salvage it?
Look,
Say yes.
I'm not going to. Look, it's up to the other person to forgive. And there is a celebrity case recently about this because in Hong Kong there was a celebrity case on that similar situation. Not so similar, but the husband cheated on the wife and she forgive him within 24 hours. Now, having said that though, it's up to the other person to forgive. But bear in mind, he will feel, betrayed because you know, meant to be on life, and there's element of hurt. So, look, sometimes you have to live with the consequences. But at the end of the day, you can try. But as I said, bear in mind that person will have a lot of hard time to forgive, in my view.
Yeah.
A lot of hard time, and I do not blame that person.
Not an easy thing. Now, before we go to our final panelist on this question, you guys at home had your say in our poll that we did. The poll was, should you believe a former lover who tells you they are a changed person and wants you back? 12% said yes. Everybody else said, hit the curb, Jack.
That's Melissa and her
I'm the 12%.
You're the 12%?
I'm the 12%.
You're a better man than the rest of us, Ivan. That's all there is to it.
Very good.
Jade, what about you? Would you let him back in?
Oh, no way.
Come on.
No way.
Well, he wouldn't get pregnant either, though, would he?
No.
So he wouldn't have to be dealing with
No,
that.
they are a bit lucky for that.
If
but
he was pregnant as well, would that make it more complicated? Anyways, just answer the question. Don't listen to me.
honestly, there's a few questions that I want to know. I want to know more. Melissa, you didn't give us a really in-depth insight to it all. So I want to know how long you were married to hubby before you started messing around. Second of all, how far along is she pregnant?
Whose is it? I want to know which
Yeah,
one it
so,
is.
and then third, my other question was, why can't you get a DNA test? Or do you have to be like far along? I don't know. Again, I'm not a professional. I don't know how far along you have to be to get a DNA test, but I reckon she needs to like go into and like pluck their hairs while they're asleep and save it and
think
send
she's
it
done
to a
But
lab.
is that going to make any difference? Like, well, like that would make a difference whether or
well,
not she
probably.
terminates.
No, because if she says to this one, I'm pregnant with your baby, to the hubby, the ex-hubby,
yeah.
and then he might think, oh, well, we'll do it for the kid. You know, it doesn't say whether they have
Ooh, is that the right or wrong reason?
He won't
No,
Oh, is that going to end well?
I don't know, but people do. People go back to people. They're crazy. I never would.
It's a very complicated situation.
It's very I don't know. What would you do?
Clint, what do you think? You got further input on this one?
I have nothing more to say. Melissa.
Stacey,
He's
anything?
done with Melissa.
What do you think? You've already said what you're going to say too, haven't you?
Well, as I said, forgiving is possible, but it really depends on that person, in my view, right? That person, how forgiving is he? And hang on, let me finish. In that 88%, which shows that, and it's understandable why why 88% people chose the no answer, and I respect that. But I myself is a forgiving person.
I mean, there's something else to be said. I think that it's something like 70% of men cheat in their relationship at some point. So, how much of a hypocrite are you?
70%?
It's something crazy
told
like
you
that.
this?
It is something crazy like that.
Yeah, but who told you that?
I don't know. Isn't that where the saying men are pigs come
Woman
from?
Yeah.
told you that.
But it's only like 30% of women.
This is why I don't have a boyfriend.
At home, people are going to have to look up this statistic and see if I'm
I'm
crazy.
looking at him right now.
Yeah,
going,
oh boy.
I'm
You don't want to be a boyfriend in this room
who's
right
he
now.
texting while I'm on the panel.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my dear God. Now I've stirred it up.
I think the eggs worth more than the sperms, isn't it?
All right.
Theoretically.
Well, look, that's it from us tonight. What a wonderful experience I had. Gary will be back next week. Thank you to the panel, everybody who puts this show together, and the audience for letting us into your living room. All right, hands up. We'll see you when we're looking at you.
Bye, guys.
Have a good night.
Good evening.
Toodaloo.
Bye.
Where do you really get that?